Hello everyone, this is NAI here, and in today's tutorial I'll teach you how to create the Sri Yantra in Affinity Designer. The Sri Yantra is a sacred geometry figure coming from Hinduism. It is made of 9 interlocking triangles, 4 triangles facing upwards representing the masculine energy, and 5 triangles facing downwards representing the feminine energy. Therefore, the figure can be understood as a complete balance between feminine and masculine energies. In today's tutorial, we are going to cover the figure with the triangles as stroke only. We are not going to add any fill colors. And also we are not going to be covering the outer part of the figure with the petals and the square with the gates. Alright, so to get started, we go to File, New. We create a new composition and we give it 2000 by 2000 pixels in dimensions. And we click on Create. And then we make sure that snapping, snap to spread, snap to object bounding boxes, and include bounding box midpoints are enabled. And then we're going to start drawing the figure. So we take the ellipse tool, we set the fill to none, we leave the stroke as black, and we set the stroke width to 3 points. And then, starting from the middle of the composition, and while holding Ctrl and Shift, we go ahead and we create a circle of about 1300 pixels in dimensions. And then we press on Escape to unselect. And then, before we start drawing the rest of the figure, we are going to create some guides that will help us to draw the figure but are not going to be part of the end result of the figure. So in order to draw the guides, we are going to change the stroke color to a different color. So I will set it to a light pinkish color to differentiate it from the actual figure. And then I will take the polygon tool. I will set the number of size to 6. And then, starting from the middle of the composition, and while holding Ctrl and Shift, we go ahead and we expand the polygon until it snaps to the circle. And then we select the hexagon. We press on Ctrl J to duplicate it. And we set the number of size to 3. So this gives us an equilateral triangle. And then we press on Ctrl J again to duplicate the triangle. And we flip the triangle vertically. And then we take the pen tool and we are going to connect all the opposing points of the hexagon. And we press Escape between each connected lines. And then we select all the guides. And we press on Ctrl G to group them together. That way we can hide them all at once when we don't need them anymore. And then we're going to start drawing the figure. So we take the pen tool. And we set the stroke color back to black. And then we're going to start by connecting the intersection here to the intersection here. And then we select the node tool. And while holding Shift, we also select the circle. And then we extend the node here while holding Shift to keep it on a straight line until it snaps to the circle. And then we do it also on the right side until it snaps to the circle. And then we take the pen tool. We connect the point here to the top point of the circle. And then we close the triangle here. So this gives us our first triangle. And then we press on Escape to unselect. And then the same thing. We connect the intersection here to the intersection here. And then we take the node tool. We select the circle. And while holding Shift, we expand one of the nodes until it snaps to the circle. And then we do the same thing on the other side. And then we're going to close the triangle. So we take the pen tool and we close the triangle. So this gives us our second triangle. And then with the pen tool again, we change the color back to pink. We press Ctrl A to select everything. And then we draw a line from this point here to the intersection of the triangle with the downward equilateral triangle. And then we take the node tool, and while holding Shift to keep it on a straight line, we extend the node until it snaps to the hexagon. And then we do the same thing on the right side. We expand it until it snaps to the hexagon. And then we press Escape twice to unselect. We take the pen tool. We set the color to black. And we connect the two intersections to form a line like this. And then we select both pink lines. And we position them in the guides group. And then we're going to do the same thing in the downwards direction. So we set the color to pink. And we connect the intersection here to the intersection here. And then with the node tool, we expand it until it snaps to the hexagon. We press on Escape to unselect. And then we do the same thing in the other direction. And then we expand the line with the node tool until it snaps to the hexagon. We press on Escape twice to unselect. We take the pen tool, set the stroke to black. And then we connect both intersections. And then we select both pink lines. And we position them to the guides group. And then with the pen tool again, color to black. And then we press on Ctrl A to select everything. And we draw a line from the intersection here to the intersection here. And then we do the same thing on the right side. And then we press on Escape to unselect. And then we draw a line. So we press on Ctrl A to select everything. And we draw a line from the point here to the point here. And then another line from the point here to the intersection here. And then we press on Escape to unselect. And then we press on Ctrl A to select everything. So from the intersection of the triangle here to the hexagon, we draw a line to the other side, to the other intersection. And while holding Shift, we also select these two lines. And then, while holding Shift, we bring the node inwards until it snaps to the line here. And then we do the same thing for the other node. We bring it inwards until it snaps to the line. And then we press on Escape to unselect. And then with the pen tool, we draw a line from the intersection here to the intersection here. And then we take the node tool. And while holding Shift, we expand it upwards. Until it reaches the level of this line here. And then we select the node here. And while holding Shift, we expand it until it closes the angle. And we press Escape to unselect. And then we do the same thing on the left side. So we press on Ctrl A to select everything. We draw a line to here. Then we take the node tool, and while holding Shift, we expand it upwards until it reaches the level of this line here. And then we close the angle. So this gives us one more triangle. And we press on Escape to unselect. And then we press on Ctrl A to select everything. And then we connect the intersection here to the intersection here. We press Escape to unselect. And then we select the line here. And while holding Shift, we expand the node until it reaches the level of this line here. And then we expand this node to the left. So this closes one angle here. And then we do the same thing on the other side. So we expand the node while holding Shift. And then we close the angle. So this completes one more triangle. And we press on Escape to unselect. And then with the pen tool. And then we press on Ctrl A to select everything. And we connect the node here to the intersection here. And then we close the triangle here. And then we press on Escape to unselect. And then with the pen tool, we're going to connect the intersection here to the intersection here. And then while holding Shift with the node tool, we expand it. Until it reaches the level of this line here. And then we close the angle here. And then we press on Escape to unselect. And then we do the same thing in the other direction. So we press on Ctrl A to select everything. We connect it to this intersection here. And then with the node tool, we expand it downwards. Until it reaches the level of this line here. And then we close the angle. And then we take the pen tool. We press on Ctrl A to select everything. And we connect these two lines here. And then we select this line here. And we expand the node downwards until it reaches the level of this line here. And then we close the angle. And we do the same thing on the other side. And then we close the angle again. So this gives us one more triangle. And then with the pen tool, we press on Ctrl A to select everything. And we connect the two intersections here. And then with the node tool, we expand it outwards until it reaches the next line. And we do the same thing on the left side. And then with the pen tool, we are going to close the triangle. And we press on Escape to unselect. And then we press on Ctrl A to select everything. We connect the intersection here to the intersection here. And then with the node tool, we expand it to the next line. And then we do the same thing on the other side. And then with the pen tool, we go ahead and we close the triangle. I can see here that it goes a bit too far. So now the triangle here is closed perfectly. So now we have all the triangles that we need. 5 triangles facing downwards and 4 triangles facing upwards. Then we can hide the guides because we are not going to need them anymore. And the last step is going to be to add the Bindu, meaning the central focal point in the middle of the figure. So we take the ellipse tool, leave the fill and the stroke settings as they are. And then in the center of the composition, and while holding Ctrl and Shift, we go ahead and we create a small dot in the middle of the figure. So now the figure is complete. So you learn how to draw the Sri Yantra in Affinity Designer. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and learned something from it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Affinity Designer tutorials in the future. And until then, see you next time. Bye!